1 year after the battle with the Valkyrie, Earth stood changed. The victory revealed the existence of advanced alien civilizations. The knowledge that humanity was not alone in the universe transformed culture, politics, technology. Nothing remained the same. The ancient ships once hidden now patrolled openly. The quantum fleet rebuilt stronger than before. Admiral Harper continued to command Earth's defense forces. The UES Deception orbited Jupiter. Harper stood on the observation deck looking. At the great gas giant, the ship had become a symbol of human ingenuity. The vessel once mocked now inspired stories, songs, art. Its scarred hull preserved to remember the cost of victory. Lieutenant Chen, now captain. Chen approached Admiral Hour Long. Range sensors detect unusual activity near the heliosphere. A fleet approaches. Harper felt tension return to her shoulders. The moment she had prepared for Valkyrie ships. Chen consulted her data pad. Not Valkyrie vessels. Admiral different configuration. Different energy signatures. They broadcast on multiple frequencies requesting communication. Harper ordered yellow alert status. Monitor the approaching vessels. Prepare defense systems, but take no aggressive action. Open communication channels. The main screen activated, displaying an alien unlike the Valkyrie. This being had a crystalline appearance with fractal patterns shifting across its surface. When it spoke, its voice resonated like wind through crystal chambers. I am Sentinel Zarix of the Galactic Concord. We have traveled far to meet the species that defeated a Valkyrie battle group. Such an event has not occurred in 7,000 cycles. Harper introduced herself, explaining Earth's recent history, the battle, the diplomacy, the uneasy peace with the Valkyrie. The alien listened with what appeared to be interest, though its expressions remained difficult to interpret. The Sentinel explained, "The Concord monitors civilizations throughout the galaxy. We maintain balance between ancient species and emerging ones. The Valkyrie violated our protocols by attacking your system without sanction. We come to investigate and to evaluate." Harper understood the implications. Earth had drawn attention beyond the Valkyrie. Our defense was justified. Sentinel. Our system's sovereign territory, the crystalline being shifted colors in what might have been agreement. The Valkyrie exceeded authority. Their military commander acted without consortium approval. Your response proved unexpectedly effective. The Concord wishes to understand how a developing species defeated an established power. Harper chose her words carefully. We combined technologies ancient and modern. The Valkyrie expected one approach. We used many. The deception and ships, like her, appear outdated but contain innovations the Valkyrie could not detect. The Sentinel requested permission to send representatives to Earth to establish diplomatic relations. Harper consulted with the Unified Defense Council. They granted conditional approval. A delegation would arrive within the week. As preparations began for the Concord delegation, Harper received an encrypted message from Admiral Foster. Meet me at Lunar Base Alpha, Urgent Matter Level 10, clearance only. Harper traveled to the Moon facility. Foster waited in a secure room deep beneath the lunar surface. The elderly admiral had aged further in recent months, the responsibilities of first contact weighing heavily on her. Still, she maintained the sharp intelligence that guided Earth through crisis. Foster activated security protocols. What I tell you remains classified beyond top secret. The Concord visit is not coincidence, nor is it benevolent. Their arrival threatens everything we achieved. She displayed information gathered by deep cover intelligence. The Concord maintains galactic stability by preventing developing species from advancing too quickly. They contain potential rivals to established powers. They appeared after our victory because we demonstrated unexpected capabilities. Harper studied the data. The Valkyrie serve as Concord enforcers. Their attack possibly sanctioned unofficially. The diplomatic mission following defeat, a way to gather intelligence. Foster nodded. The Concord claims to protect developing species. Actually, they control them. They allow advancement only along approved paths. Our different approach to technology, our combination of ancient and modern, threatens their system. The revelation changed everything. The Concord delegation came, not to establish relations but to assess threats to limit Earth technology. The apparent diplomatic mission concealed evaluation for containment. Harper considered options. We cannot refuse contact. Isolation leaves us vulnerable, but we cannot reveal our full capabilities. Foster agreed. We show enough to establish respect but hide our most advanced research. Their assessment will determine whether they offer limited alliance or impose restrictions. A new strategy emerged. Earth would present a carefully crafted image to the conquered. Certain technologies displayed, others concealed. The ancient ships prominent, but their full capabilities understated. The quantum fleet impressive, but not threatening. A species advanced enough to earn respect, not advanced enough to trigger containment. The Concord delegation arrived 3 representatives of different species. The crystalline sentinel, Xerix, an amorphous being called Nexus, a humanoid figure named Elder Thalia. They toured Earth facilities, examined approved technology, met with leadership. Harper accompanied the delegation alongside Foster. The visitors showed particular interest in the Lazarus fleet, especially the UES Deception. The ancient ship, now famous throughout Earth. Elder Thalia examined the vessel. This design differs substantially from standard development patterns. Most species progress from chemical to nuclear to quantum propulsion. Your combination approaches. Unusual, Harper explained. Our isolation led to exploration of multiple technological paths. We found value in principles others might consider outdated. Nexus, the amorphous being, rippled with what seemed like skepticism. The Valkyrie report indicates your vessels created disruption fields affecting their sensors. How did you develop such technology? Harper provided the prepared answer. Accident initially. Scientist Olivia Reyes discovered certain configurations of magnetic technology produced unexpected effects. We adapted this discovery for defense. The MA delegates exchanged looks, communicating silently. Harper sensed doubt. The explanation simplified complex innovations precisely as planned. The visitors would recognize partial truth but could not prove deliberate concealment. Throughout the week, the delegation assessed Earth technology, culture, military capabilities. The representatives remained polite, but their questions revealed their purpose. Evaluation, classification, potentially containment. On the final day, Sentinel Xerix delivered the order. Concord's official position: Earth would receive recognition as an emerging civilization. Limited exchange opportunities offered. Restricted travel rights granted, but advanced technology development would require supervision. Concord protocols must be followed. Harper recognized the offer for what it was. Control disguised as assistance. The ancient powers feared new approaches, threatened established order. Earth would receive protection at the cost of innovation. Freedom exchanged for security. Foster responded with diplomatic caution. Earth appreciates the Concord's interest. We will consider your generous offer. Our council requires time for proper evaluation. The delegation departed, promising to return for Earth's answer. Harper watched their ship leave orbit. The crystalline vessel beautiful but threatening. The true challenge now clear. The Valkyrie merely the first contact with a complex interstellar community. The galaxy filled with ancient civilizations maintaining power through controlled advancement. Harper met with the Unified Defense Council, explaining the situation. The Concord offers protection, but demands compliance. They fear our technology, not because it exceeds theirs, but because it develops differently. They cannot control what they do not understand. Council member Patricia Lynn, former quantum physicist, now policymaker, asked the critical question: do we accept their terms? Development under supervision, security but limited innovation, or do we continue our own path? Risking their disapproval, Admiral Foster stood. The choice affects not just our generation but all future humans. Do we become another controlled species advancing only along permitted paths? Or do we claim the right to explore all possibilities? Regardless of ancient protocols, the discussion continued for days. The security of Concord protection tempted many. The risks of defiance concerned others. The council remained divided. Harper presented her recommendation: we neither accept nor reject their terms. We maintain diplomatic relations while continuing our own development. We conceal our most advanced research. We prepare defenses against potential containment. We build alliances with other emerging species. We change the system from within. The council voted Harper's recommendation approved with modifications. Earth would walk a dangerous path. Neither submission nor defiance, but calculated independence. A third option in a binary system. The ancient powers expected either compliance or rebellion, not strategic autonomy. Implementation began immediately. Research facilities moved deeper underground or to distant moons. Shipyards constructed vessels with modular designs appearing to follow Concord protocols while incorporating hidden capabilities. The ancient ships maintained their visible role while next-generation vessels developed in secret. 6 months later, Harper stood on the bridge of a new ship, the UES Innovation. The vessel represented the future, appearing to follow Concord guidelines while concealing revolutionary systems. The ship incorporated lessons from the deception, but advanced beyond lessons learned from Valkyrie technology adapted to human approach. 3 weeks passed since the battle near Neptune. Earth celebrated victory while mourning the lost. The Quantum Fleet had suffered 70% casualties. The Lazarus Fleet lost 8 vessels, with 5 more severely damaged. The UES Deception underwent extensive repairs in orbit. The once secret project now became public knowledge. Heroes emerged from the shadows. Commander Harper spent most of those weeks in debriefings. Military analysts wanted every detail of the battle. Scientists examined captured Valkyrie technology. Politicians debated the implications of contact with a hostile advanced civilization. The Unified Defense Council prepared for possible retaliation. Harper finally received clearance to visit her crew in the hospital. Lieutenant Chen recovered from burns suffered when her console exploded. Engineer Rivera underwent surgery to repair internal injuries. Dr. Montgomery regained consciousness after a week in critical condition. The price of victory written on their bodies. Admiral Foster met Harper in a secure conference room. The elderly admiral looked tired but satisfied. The Valkyrie retreated beyond the heliopause. Their remaining vessels, approximately 40% of their original fleet, continue toward their territory. Harper reviewed the data. We hurt them badly, but they remain a threat. Will they return with a larger force? Foster nodded. That remains our primary concern. The Valkyrie underestimated us once. They will not make the same mistake again. Our intelligence suggests they belong to a coalition of advanced species. They may seek assistance from allies. The strategic situation had changed. Earth revealed capabilities previously hidden. The element of surprise lost humanity, needed new advantages. Harper studied reports from research teams examining captured Valkyrie technology. We learn from their technology as they learn from ours, but we need more time to prepare for their return. A technician entered the room. Admiral Foster, urgent communication. From deep space monitoring, a Valkyrie vessel approaches. It broadcasts on all frequencies. Foster and Harper hurried to the command center. The main screen showed a single Valkyrie ship moving toward Earth orbit. Unlike the warships, this vessel had a more diplomatic design. Sleek but not threatening, elegant without bristling weapons. Lieutenant Sharon Davis, the communications officer, reported. The vessel requests direct communication with Earth leadership. They claim to come in peace. Their weapons powered down, their shields minimal. Foster ordered. Maintain alert status, prepare defense systems but take no aggressive action. Open communication channel. The Valkyrie appeared on screen. This one looked different from the military commander. More ornate, in appearance, with elaborate patterns glowing beneath translucent skin. The alien spoke with the same musical quality but without the previous arrogance. I am Nerevan, diplomatic envoy of the Valkyrie Consortium. I come to discuss terms following our recent conflict. Foster stepped forward. I am Admiral Diane Foster, representing Earth Defense. You claimed our system as your territory, then attacked when we refused to surrender. Why should we trust you now? The Valkyrie diplomat bowed slightly. The recent action was unauthorized. Our military commander exceeded authority. The consortium did not sanction full invasion. Your defense has caused us to reevaluate your species. We propose dialogue. Harper studied the alien, looking for signs of deception. The Valkyrie had proven duplicitous before. This could be another trick, but something in the envoy's manner suggested sincerity. Foster remained cautious. What terms do you propose? The Valkyrie explained. The consortium acknowledges Earth territorial rights. We request technological exchange and limited access to transit corridors. We offer knowledge and alliance, Harper spoke. Perhaps you should have tried diplomacy before invasion. The alien turned toward her. Our understanding of your species was incomplete. We believed humans primitive, unworthy of equal status. Your defense proved this assessment incorrect. The ships you deployed, the tactics you employed, they showed innovation. We have not seen in millennia. Foster and Harper exchanged glances. The admission revealed much about Valkyrie psychology. They respected strength, not appeals to morality. Their diplomacy followed defeat, not preceded conflict. The Unified Defense Council agreed to preliminary talks, a secure facility prepared. To host the Valkyrie envoy, Harper received orders to attend. Representing military intelligence, Foster would speak for Earth defense. The diplomatic corps sent their best negotiators. Before the meeting, Harper visited the repair dock where the UES Deception underwent reconstruction. The ancient ship looked different now, its hull open to space. Technicians crawled over its surface, replacing damaged systems. The vessel had performed beyond expectations, its outdated appearance concealing revolutionary technology. Chief Engineer Rivera joined Harper despite her injuries still recovering. She gestured toward the ship. Amazing she still holds together. The structural integrity should have failed when we initiated the sensor feedback pulse. Harper nodded. She survived because her crew refused to give up. You pushed her beyond design limitations, Rivera smiled. The Valkyrie still struggled to understand how we defeated them. Their technology follows a single path of development. Quantum manipulation, temporal, dynamics. They forgot the principles they built upon. They cannot comprehend our magnetic disruption fields, our kinetic weapons. The observation highlighted the advantage Earth still possessed. The Valkyrie thought in narrow terms. Their technology, advanced but predictable. Humanity explored multiple paths of development, creating unexpected applications. The diplomatic meeting convened in Geneva. The Valkyrie envoy, Neravian, arrived with a small entourage, their glowing forms casting strange light. In the chamber, the human delegation approached cautiously, Foster and Harper flanking the chief negotiator. The discussions lasted days. The Valkyrie proposed complex arrangements, transit corridors through the outer solar system, exchange of specific technologies, limited cultural contact. Harper recognized their true purpose. Information gathering. They wanted to understand how humanity defeated them. Foster pulled Harper aside during a recess. They seek our secrets. The magnetic disruption technology, the Lazarus ship designs. Harper agreed. They fear what they do not understand. They believed their path of development universal, that all advanced species must follow the same technological progression. Our different approach threatens their worldview. Negotiations continued. Earth representatives careful to reveal nothing critical. The Valkyrie equally cautious. A temporary agreement emerged. The aliens would respect Earth territory. Humanity would allow limited transit rights through the outer system. No technology would be exchanged until trust developed. As the diplomatic talks progressed, intelligence reports warned of Valkyrie military movements. Their ships gathered at the edge of their territory. Their communications suggested internal conflict. Some factions accepted the diplomatic solution. Others called for revenge. Harper reported these developments to Foster. The Valkyrie military builds up forces. They may reject the diplomatic solution. Their culture values technological superiority. Their defeat challenges their identity. Foster activated a secure terminal, displaying classified reports. Earth also prepared shipyards throughout the system, constructed new vessels based on Lazarus technology. Research teams developed improved weapons. The quantum fleet rebuilt with hybrid systems. The ancient ships no longer hidden upgraded with lessons learned from battle. Harper received a new assignment command of the Defense Fleet. Foster promoted her to Admiral, the youngest in Earth history. The Unified Defense Council created a new strategic command, incorporating both quantum and Lazarus technologies. Harper would oversee the integration. The UES Deception, repaired and enhanced, became her flagship. The vessel symbolized the new approach, appearing outdated while incorporating revolutionary systems. The ship that helped save Earth now prepared to defend it again, if necessary. 6 months after the battle, Admiral Harper addressed the crew of the expanded Earth fleet, 200 vessels, gathered in formation beyond Mars' orbit. Some sleek and modern, others bulky and ancient-looking, all dangerous already. Today, we begin a new chapter. Harper announced, "No longer will Earth hide its strength. No longer will we separate our technology into public and secret. We combine all approaches, we explore all possibilities. The Valkyrie and any other species who may observe us will see our true capabilities. They will know that humanity stands ready." The fleet commenced exercises demonstrating the integration of different technologies. Quantum ships worked alongside Lazarus vessels, their combined capabilities greater than either alone. Harper watched from the Deception Bridge. Lieutenant Chen, recovered from her injuries, served as first officer. Engineer Rivera, now Fleet Engineering Chief, monitored the performance of all ships. A communication arrived from Earth. Admiral Foster contacted Harper from Geneva. The diplomatic envoy departed. The preliminary agreement signed. The Valkyrie returned to their territory. Their military buildup continues, but at reduced pace. Harper acknowledged the report. How long until they return? Admiral, whether with diplomats or warships, they will come back. Foster looked tired, the negotiations taking their toll. They respect strength, not words. The agreement buys time, nothing more. Use it wisely. Admiral Harper, Earth depends on you. Harper understood the responsibility. The Valkyrie posed an ongoing threat. The victory changed the relationship, but did not end the danger. Humanity entered a wider galactic community, not as supplicants but as warriors who proved their worth. The space near Neptune became a battlefield. The Valkyrie regrouped, forming defensive clusters. Their ships combined sensor capabilities, trying to compensate for the Lazarus fleet's stealth properties. Their initial confusion gave way to coordinated response. The aliens adapted quickly, a trait that had helped them conquer vast regions of space. Lieutenant Chen monitored Valkyrie communications. They are changing tactics, Commander. They combine their sensor arrays to improve detection. They can now track some of our movements. Harper had expected this. The Valkyrie would not remain vulnerable for long. She contacted Admiral Foster. The enemy adapts as predicted. Request permission to implement Phase 2. Foster responded from her command center. Permission granted. Commander Harper, execute Phase 2. All Lazarus vessels acknowledge. While the Valkyrie focused on detecting and countering the human fleet, they remained unaware of another threat Earth had prepared. Harper nodded to Chief Engineer Morgan Rivera. The engineer activated a secure terminal. Phase 2 deployment in 321 network active. Throughout the solar system, thousands of objects activated. Objects the Valkyrie had dismissed as space debris, abandoned satellites, old probes, derelict stations. These seemingly insignificant items formed an interlocking web of electromagnetic resonance. The network blanked Valkyrie communication frequencies. Ship by ship, the alien fleet lost cohesion. Their integrated command structure failed. The aliens rely too heavily on perfect communication. Harper observed. They need constant data exchange between vessels. Without it, they struggle to coordinate. The Lazarus fleet pressed the advantage. The battle tactics shifted. Each Earth vessel now targeted Valkyrie ships isolated by the communication disruption. The UES Deception engaged a Valkyrie destroyer. The alien vessel fired energy weapons that the Earth ship evaded. The deception returned fire with kinetic projectiles that breached the enemy hull. Not all went according to plan. A Valkyrie capital ship operating on some backup system launched a devastating attack, destroying 3 human vessels in quick succession. Chen reported with professional calm, "The Valiant, the Intrepid, and the Defiance are gone." Estimated 400 crew lost. Harper felt each loss like a physical blow. These were not just ships, but people she knew. Officers who had trained for this mission for years. Friends she had shared meals with. She allowed herself one moment of grief before focusing again on the battle. More troubling, the Valkyrie began adjusting to the kinetic weapons, their shields reconfigured to repel physical objects. Some projectiles now bounced off alien hulls. The advantage of surprise diminished with each passing hour. Harper gathered her tactical team. "We need new approaches. The enemy adapts to our current tactics." Suggestions: Lieutenant Chen suggested targeting propulsion systems. Engineer Rivera recommended focusing on their power cores. Dr. Montgomery proposed a new firing pattern for the railguns. Harper approved all 3 adjustments. The battle continued for hours. Human ingenuity against alien technology. The ancient ships of Earth against the advanced fleet. Of the Valkyrie, both sides suffered losses. Both adapted and countered. Space itself seemed to burn with weapons fire. Harper received a priority message from Admiral Foster: implement Trojan protocols on disabled Valkyrie vessels. Authorization Sierra. Echo 9. The Trojan protocol represented the most controversial aspect of Earth's defense plan. Harper hesitated before giving the order. Lieutenant Chen prepared Trojan drones for deployment. Target disabled Valkyrie vessels. Only earlier in the battle, specially designed boarding drones had attached themselves to damaged Valkyrie ships, appearing as debris. The drones had waited for activation. Now they infiltrated alien vessels, systems turning the ships against their own fleet. 5 Valkyrie destroyers suddenly turned their weapons on their command ship. The alien flagship suffered critical damage before it could react. The Valkyrie fleet fell into greater disarray. Harper watched with mixed feelings. The tactics seemed dishonorable, yet effective. The Valkyrie, with their sense of superiority, would have done worse to Earth had positions been reversed. This was survival, not a contest of honor. The deception shuddered as enemy fire struck its port side. Engineer Rivera reported from her station. "Hull breach on Deck 3. Emergency fields active. Damage control teams responding." Montgomery at Weapons Control reported, "Railgun 2 offline, kinetic ammunition at 60%. Chen added, "Valkyrie reinforcements approaching from Sector 7. They adapt to our disruption network." Commander communications partially restored in their fleet. The situation grew more desperate with each passing hour. The Valkyrie recovered from their initial surprise. Their technological advantage reasserted itself. Their numbers still greater than the human fleet. Harper made a difficult decision. "All ships, this is Commander Harper. Implement contingency protocols." Sigma 3. Acknowledge. The Sigma 3 protocol called for extreme measures. The Lazarus fleet would target vulnerable points in Valkyrie ship design, sacrificing defense for offensive power. The human vessels would take greater risks to inflict maximum damage. The UES deception accelerated toward a cluster of Valkyrie cruisers. Its disruption, field strained to maximum. The weapon systems pushed beyond safety limits. The ship trembled as railguns fired in rapid sequence. The kinetic projectiles struck critical junctions in alien vessels. Power cores exploded. Valkyrie ships broke apart. Enemy weapons found their mark. The deception suffered multiple hits. Hull breaches opened on several decks. Crew members fought to keep systems online. The ancient ship groaned like a wounded animal. Lieutenant Chen shouted over alarms. Engineering reports. Power fluctuations. Weapon systems at critical levels. Hull integrity failing in sections 4 through 7. Harper gripped her command chair. "What is the status of the Valkyrie command?" Ship Chen checked tactical displays. Valkyrie flagship heavily damaged but operational. They coordinate from secondary systems. Their fleet reorganizes. The battle had reached a critical point. The Lazarus fleet inflicted significant damage, but the Valkyrie still held the advantage of numbers and technology. If the aliens fully recovered their communication network, They would overwhelm the human ships in this moment of crisis. Engineer Rivera approached Harper's chair. "Commander, I have an idea. It carries extreme risk, but may turn the tide," Rivera explained. Her plan. The deception would modify its disruption field to create a feedback loop in Valkyrie sensor systems. The modification would temporarily blind the alien fleet, but it required diverting power from life support and shields. The ship would be vulnerable during the process. Harper considered the options. The plan might work, but at great risk to her vessel and crew. Yet without bold action, Earth would fall. She made her decision. Proceed. Engineer Rivera, divert power as needed. Lieutenant Chen, inform Admiral Foster of our intention. Dr. Montgomery, prepare maximum weapons deployment when Valkyrie sensors fail. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. Rivera led her engineering team in reconfiguring the ship's systems. Chen coordinated. With other Lazarus vessels, Montgomery prepared the remaining weapons for a concentrated strike. Harper addressed the crew. "Attention all personnel. We attempt a dangerous maneuver. Secure yourselves and your stations. Prepare for possible system failures. Remember what we fight for." The deception approached the center of the Valkyrie formation. The ship's disruption field changed frequency, pulsing in patterns designed to overload alien sensor systems. The vessel grew cold as power diverted from life support. The shields flickered, leaving the hull exposed. Weapon systems drained the remaining energy reserves. Engineer Rivera counted down. 3, 2, 1. Initiating sensor feedback pulse. The modified disruption field expanded in a wave of electromagnetic energy. The pulse struck Valkyrie vessels, causing their sensor arrays to overload. Throughout the alien fleet, navigation systems failed. Targeting computers shut down, communication networks collapsed. Now, Harper ordered. The Lazarus fleet attacked with everything remaining. Every functional weapon fired, every reserve tapped. The ancient ships struck like predators against blinded prey. The deception launched its remaining kinetic projectiles at the Valkyrie flagship. The massive alien vessel suffered multiple direct hits. Its elegant hull broke apart, its power core destabilized. The Valkyrie fleet commander transmitted a final message before their flagship exploded. "This is not possible. Your primitive technology cannot defeat us." The transmission cut off mid-sentence. Chen reported Valkyrie fleet in disarray. Multiple vessels destroyed, others retreating. They abandoned damaged ships. They flee toward the outer system. Harper allowed no celebration. Continue pursuit. Disable as many vessels as possible. Secure prisoners and technology. This battle is not over until their fleet leaves the system or surrenders. The deception pursued, despite its damaged condition. Systems failed throughout the ship. The hull breaches expanded. Emergency fields flickered. The ancient vessel pushed beyond its limits. Engineer Rivera worked desperately to maintain critical systems. Life support failing on decks 5 through 8, evacuating personnel to secure areas, power core stability at 30%. "We cannot sustain this chase much longer." Harper knew the engineer spoke truth. The deception had given everything it had. The ship could not continue the pursuit without risking total destruction. She made the difficult decision. "All hands, this is Commander. Harper, cease pursuit. Focus on damage control and survival." She contacted Admiral Foster. "The Valkyrie retreat. We have victory, but at heavy cost. Request assistance for damaged vessels." The UES deception moved silently through the dark space beyond Neptune. Harper and her crew waited. While the Unified Defense Council engaged in diplomatic talks with the Valkyrie, the Lazarus fleet prepared for battle. The ships hid inside hollowed asteroids beneath the ice of moons and within the thick clouds of gas giants. Lieutenant Grace Chen monitored communications from the bridge. "The Valkyrie continue to demand our surrender. They refuse all compromise." Harper nodded. "They never intended to negotiate. They came to conquer." Engineer Olivia Reyes worked constantly to refine the ship systems, the inventor of the technology that made Project Lazarus possible. She understood the vessels better than anyone. "Our magnetic disruption fields are at peak efficiency. Commander, the Valkyrie sensors will have difficulty detecting you." Stock under Susan Montgomery. The weapons specialist ran final checks on the unconventional armaments. The kinetic projectiles were loaded, the railguns charged. The systems looked primitive compared to energy weapons, but they would deliver a devastating surprise. 20 days into the 30-day ultimatum, Admiral Foster called the commanders of all Lazarus vessels to a secure briefing. The Valkyrie grow impatient. They have moved their fleet closer to Mars. Their scouts probe our defenses, they map our quantum fleet deployments. She displayed tactical information showing Valkyrie movements. Their arrogance makes them predictable. They expect us to either surrender or make a desperate stand with our quantum ships. They see no other possibilities. Commander Vanessa Ellis of the UES Subterfuge raised a concern. What if they detect our ships before we can engage? Foster answered, "We have taken every precaution. The Lazarus vessels emit no quantum signatures. Your reactor cores use magnetic containment, not quantum fields. Your communication systems use old-style radio waves masked as background radiation. Your hulls contain materials that absorb scanner waves." Harper studied the Valkyrie fleet formations. They expected a frontal assault, a desperate last stand. The aliens had no concept of asymmetric warfare. They relied too heavily on their advanced technology. They had forgotten the simple physics of mass and momentum, the principles that humans had mastered centuries before. Quantum technology. Foster outlined the battle plan. The quantum fleet will engage the Valkyrie at Saturn. They will fight bravely, but they expect to lose. The Valkyrie will believe victory is at hand. Then the Lazarus fleet will strike from hidden positions throughout the system. The plan depended on precise timing and perfect execution. Harper knew the risks. They had one chance to surprise the Valkyrie. If they failed, Earth would fall as the commanders returned to their ships. Harper felt the weight of command. Growing up in Montana, she never imagined leading humanity's defense. But here she stood responsible for billions of lives. On the 25th day, the Valkyrie commander sent a new message. "We grow tired of waiting. Your delay only prolongs the inevitable. We will begin operations in 5 days, not 30. Prepare yourselves." Admiral Zimmerman responded with pleas for more time. The show convinced the Valkyrie that Earth was desperate. Foster informed Harper and the other Lazarus commanders. "The timetable has accelerated. All ships to battle stations. The Valkyrie advance begins in 5 days." Harper gathered her crew on the Deception. "Many of you have families on Earth. Some have children, parents, loved ones waiting for your return. Remember why we fight. We do not fight for glory. We fight for their future." She walked among them, meeting their eyes. They were the best Earth had to offer. Selected for their skills and courage, they represented humanity's best hope. Lieutenant Chen approached Harper after the briefing. "My parents live in New Chicago. Commander, they believe I serve on a standard military vessel. They know nothing of this mission." Harper placed a hand on Chen's shoulder. "We all keep secrets to protect those we love. If we succeed, your parents will never know how close we came to defeat. If we fail, none of it will matter." The engineering team, led by Reyes, worked around the clock to maximize the ship's capabilities. The weapons team under Montgomery drilled constantly, preparing for the unusual battle tactics they would employ. The tactical team memorized the positions of every Valkyrie vessel. 4 days before the new deadline, Admiral Foster sent an urgent message. "The Valkyrie fleet has begun moving. They approach Saturn faster than expected. The battle begins tomorrow. All vessels deploy to assigned positions." Harper ordered her crew to battle stations. She studied the tactical display showing the positions of all ships, both Earth and Valkyrie. The quantum fleet formed a defensive line near Saturn. They would fight bravely, but the outcome was predetermined. The Lazarus fleet remained hidden, scattered throughout the solar system, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. That night, Harper recorded a personal message for her sister in case she did not return. "Belle, if you receive this, then I have fallen in battle. Know that I did everything possible to protect Earth and everyone on it. Tell my nieces stories about the stars. Remind them to look up with wonder, not fear. The universe holds dangers, but also beauty. Remember me when you see the night sky. She sent the message through secure channels. It would remain sealed unless she failed to return. She then reviewed the battle plan one last time. Sleep came fitfully, her dreams filled with burning ships and silent screams. The next morning, alarms sounded throughout the deception. The Valkyrie fleet had reached Saturn. The battle had begun. Harper watched on tactical displays as Earth quantum ships engaged the alien vessels. The quantum fleet fought with everything they had. Their weapons flashed. Their shields glowed as they absorbed enemy fire. Lieutenant Chen provided updates. The Valkyrie have destroyed 12% of our quantum fleet. Casualties are high. Admiral Zimmerman is coordinating defensive maneuvers. For hours, Harper and the Lazarus fleet watched the battle. The quantum ships performed incredible feats of bravery. There, captains knew the role they played in the larger plan. They fought not to win, but to convince the Valkyrie that they faced Earth's best defense. By midday, the quantum fleet had suffered devastating losses, over 60% destroyed or disabled. The Valkyrie pressed their advantage. Their ships moved with graceful precision. Their weapons tore through quantum shields. Their communications showed no concern, only methodical execution. The Valkyrie commander broadcast across all channels. This display of resistance is unnecessary. Surrender now, and we will allow your species to exist as protectorate subjects. Continue fighting, and we will have no choice but to eliminate all resistance. Harper received the signal she had waited for. Admiral Foster activated the Lazarus protocol. The hidden fleet would now reveal itself. Harper addressed her crew. The time has come. Remember your training. Trust in your ships. Trust in each other. Throughout the solar system, the ancient ships emerged from Europa, from asteroids, from Jupiter, from beneath Earth's oceans. The Lazarus fleet appeared. The vessels looked outdated, almost primitive compared to the sleek Valkyrie ships. But appearances deceived. Lieutenant Chen reported, "All vessels ready. Commander. Disruption. Fields active weapons." Hot Harper gave the order. The Lazarus fleet accelerated toward the Valkyrie. The enemy did not detect the approaching vessels until they were already among them. The supposedly primitive human ships moved in unexpected ways. The magnetic disruption fields created blind spots in Valkyrie sensors. The aliens could not track the Earth vessels properly. When the Lazarus fleet opened fire, they did not use energy weapons or quantum torpedoes. They deployed solid metal projectiles. Railguns accelerated tungsten rods to incredible speeds. The kinetic weapons struck Valkyrie ships with devastating force. The aliens' energy shields designed to dissipate energy attacks had no defense against simple physical impacts. Dr. Montgomery reported from weapons control. Their shields are calibrated for energy wavelengths, not physical objects. Our kinetic weapons bypass their defenses completely. The first attack destroyed 23 Valkyrie ships before they could adjust their tactics. The aliens' confusion showed in their erratic movements. Their perfect formation broke apart as captains tried to evade the unexpected threat. Harper watched from the Deception command deck. She felt no joy, only determination. Each destroyed alien vessel meant Earth might survive. The Lazarus fleet pressed the attack, giving the Valkyrie no time to develop countermeasures. The UES Deception engaged 3 Valkyrie cruisers. Harper ordered evasive maneuvers. The ship moved in ways the aliens could not predict. When they fired energy weapons, the Deception absorbed or deflected the attacks. When the Earth ship returned fire, it launched projectiles that tore through alien hulls. Lieutenant Chen tracked enemy movements. They attempt to regroup. "Commander." "They seem confused by our attack pattern." "Good," Harper responded. "Continue random approach vectors. Do not establish predictable patterns. Do not give them time to adapt." The bridge shook as a Valkyrie beam grazed their hull. Harper steadied herself against her command chair. "Damage report." Reyes responded from engineering. "Minor damage to outer hull plating. Disruption field stable weapon systems unaffected." Harper ordered the ship to press the attack. The Deception accelerated toward the largest Valkyrie vessel in the sector. Its railguns fired in sequence. The projectiles struck the alien ship, causing cascading explosions. The Valkyrie cruiser broke apart. Its crew lost to the vacuum. Throughout the solar system, the battle raged. The ancient ships of Earth darted between Valkyrie vessels, striking with weapons the aliens had not faced in thousands of years. The quantum fleet rallied, joining the year was 2187, Earth calendar. The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Europa picked up an unusual signal coming from beyond the Kuiper Belt. Commander Allison Harper stood at the main control panel, her eyes fixed on the data stream. Something about this signal felt different from the usual cosmic noise they tracked. Harper had served 20 years in space defense. She survived the Third Mars conflict and had earned every medal pinned to her uniform. Her gut told her this signal meant trouble. Sci-Fi called over her team Dr. Melissa Winters, the chief astrophysicist, and Kate Donovan, the best xenolinguist in the solar system, came to her station. Harper pointed at the pattern, repeating on her screen. Look at this pattern. It repeats too perfectly for natural phenomena. Winters adjusted her glasses, studying the waveform. There appears to be mathematical structure here, Fibonacci sequences embedded in the carrier wave. Donovan leaned closer. The structure suggests language, not just a beacon. Someone is trying to communicate. For 3 weeks, the team worked around the clock. They drank synthetic coffee by the gallon and slept in short shifts beside their workstations. Harper pushed them hard. Their efforts paid off when Donovan finally cracked the basic structure of the message. She called Harper and Winters to her station with excitement in her voice. I think I have it. The message is simple but concerning. The beings are saying, we come to claim what is rightfully ours. Harper felt her blood run cold. Claim. What exactly? Our solar system. 2 days after they decoded the message, the long-range scanners detected a fleet of ships approaching Earth. The vessels numbered over 300. They moved faster than any human ship could travel. Their hulls seemed to absorb light, making them appear like moving holes in space. The Unified Defense Council called an emergency meeting. They established contact with the approaching fleet. The alien commander appeared on screens across Earth. Their body glowed with an internal light. Their features were elegant, almost beautiful, but their eyes showed only cold calculation. The alien identified their species as the Valkyrie. Their voice sounded like music played on glass instruments. Your solar system sits on the edge of Valkyrie space. We have allowed your species to develop undisturbed as a scientific curiosity. However, your recent quantum experiments have disrupted important Valkyrie transit corridors. We come to correct this situation, Admiral. Patty Zimmerman, leader of Earth Defense Forces, stepped forward. We mean no disrespect to your people. We were unaware of any transit corridors. We can discuss how to avoid disrupting your travel routes. The Valkyrie commander tilted their head. Your ignorance does not excuse the disruption. The corridors took millennia to establish. We cannot allow primitive species to damage them. Admiral Zimmerman kept her voice steady. We are willing to negotiate, but we will defend our home if necessary. And displayed information about Earth defense capabilities, the quantum fleet, the orbital platforms, the planetary shield generators, all designed to protect Earth from cosmic threats. The Valkyrie commander made a sound like breaking crystal. A laugh. We developed such technology thousands of years ago. These museum pieces pose no threat to our Armada. Your most advanced ships are toys compared to our scout vessels. The alien displayed their own capabilities, weapons that could reshape matter ships, that could outrun light planet killers, that could turn Earth into a memory. The display was terrifying, but Harper noticed something odd about the presentation. The Valkyrie seemed too eager to demonstrate their power, almost as if they wanted to frighten Earth into submission without a fight. The Valkyrie commander spoke again. You have 30 of your Earth days to surrender control of your system, or be removed. We are generous to give you this time to prepare your people for the transition. Their image vanished from the screens. Admiral Zimmerman turned to her officers. They know about our quantum fleet, but they seem overconfident. Harper stepped forward. There might be a reason for that confidence, Admiral. But I noticed something there. Demonstration focused entirely on quantum-based technology similar to our public fleet. They may not know about Project Lazarus. Admiral Zimmerman gave Harper a sharp look. That project is classified. Commander Harper stood her ground. It might be our only chance against their armada. After the meeting, Admiral Zimmerman asked Harper to stay behind. She waited until everyone else had left the room. The Admiral pressed a button on her desk, activating privacy protocols. "What do you know about Project Lazarus, Commander? Only rumors." Harper admitted that we have ships built with technology different from our quantum fleet ships that look old, but contain systems the rest of the galaxy knows nothing about. The Admiral studied Harper for a long moment. "You have good instincts, Commander. I need someone like you." She handed Harper a small data chip report to these coordinates in 12 hours. "Say nothing to anyone, not even your team." Harper found herself traveling to Wyoming. The shuttle landed in what looked like empty Badlands. The ground beneath them opened, revealing a massive underground facility. 2 guards escorted her through security checkpoints. Finally, they brought her to a command center filled with screens that looked surprisingly outdated. Admiral Diane Foster waited for her. The Admiral was 82 years old, but her eyes remained sharp, her white hair cut in a practical military style. She wore an old-style uniform without modern enhancements. "Welcome to Project Lazarus." Commander Foster led Harper through more security checkpoints. They entered an enormous hangar. Hidden from the world sat dozens of ships. They looked nothing like the sleek quantum vessels of the official fleet. These ships had bulky designs with what appeared to be metal plating instead of energy fields. "The Valkyrie believe they have seen our best," Admiral Foster explained. "They monitor our military channels and observe our fleet exercises. What they do not know is that these ships contain technology based on principles completely different from what the Valkyrie understand." Foster walked Harper toward the largest ship in the hangar. The vessel looked almost primitive compared to modern designs, yet something about it suggested hidden power. Project Lazarus began after scientist Olivia Reyes discovered that certain configurations of older technology created effects. Quantum scanning could not detect Earth. Leadership made a decision. We would showcase our quantum fleet while developing this shadow armada in secret. Harper ran her hand along the hull of the nearest ship. It felt cool to the touch. "How do we know these will work against their advanced technology?" Foster smiled. "We have been studying the Valkyrie longer than they have. Been studying us. Their light-absorbing hulls, we detected their scout ships decades ago. These vessels were designed specifically to counter Valkyrie technology." Harper looked at the ships with new appreciation. "When will we deploy them?" "Not until the Valkyrie attack," Foster said. "The element of surprise is crucial. You will lead a special crew aboard our flagship, the UES Deception. You leave tomorrow to prepare." As Harper toured the facility, she met the team assigned to her: engineers, weapons specialists, tactical officers, all trained in secret, all ready to defend Earth. The weight of responsibility settled on her shoulders. These ancient-looking ships might be all that stood between humanity and extinction. That night in her assigned quarters, Harper studied the Valkyrie data. The aliens were confident, bordering on arrogant. They expected Earth to surrender without a fight. They did not expect resistance. They certainly did not expect Earth to have ships. Their sensors could not properly detect. Harper smiled to herself. The Valkyrie laughed at what they thought were ancient ships. Soon they would learn that appearances could be deceiving. The next morning, Harper boarded the UES Deception. Her crew waited at their stations: Lieutenant Grace Chen at Tactical, Olivia Reyes herself at Engineering, Dr. Susan Montgomery at the Weapons Console. All women chosen for their brilliance and courage. The ship powered up, systems activating in sequence. The vessel hummed with energy that felt different from quantum ships Harper had commanded before. Foster contacted Harper through a secure channel. "Remember, Commander, they must believe they are winning until it is too late for them to adapt." "Good hunting." Harper gave the order to deploy. The hangar doors opened, revealing the stars beyond. The first phase of Earth defense would proceed as expected. The quantum fleet would engage the Valkyrie when they arrived. The aliens would believe victory was assured. Then Harper and the Lazarus fleet would show them how wrong they were. As the Deception moved into position, Harper addressed her crew. "We face an enemy who believes they know everything about us. They think our technology is ancient and outdated. They will learn that sometimes the oldest tricks are the most effective. We will make them pay for their arrogance." Her crew responded with determined silence. They knew what was at stake. They would wait in hiding until the moment came to strike. Then the Valkyrie would watch as their armada burned.